see you.
It's great to be with you.
All right, so Dr. Yaw, I heard that you went to Russia.
I did.
Could you tell us why you went to Russia?
Well, I was fortunate enough to be selected for a Fulbright scholarship to go to Russia for 2 weeks. The program is called the Community College Administrators Seminar, and there were 5 of us from 5 different community colleges all over the country that were selected, and I was fortunate enough to be one of them.
That's just 5 in the country.
Just 5, yes.
Wow.
Yes. There was the president of Broward College, which is in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Okay.
Very large institution, about 65,000 students. A vice president from Alamo College in San Antonio, Texas. A dean for technology studies at De Anza College in Cupertino, California. And the president of Minnesota West Colleges, 5 different campuses in western Minnesota. So it was a good geographic distribution of colleges, presidents and so forth, administrators that participated in this conference.
Oh, that's very cool. So what was the award for, the Fulbright Award?
Well, it was just, the purpose was to go to Russia to learn more about the Russian system of higher education and for us to share what our systems are like here and see what common interests we might have, and potentially to develop relationships which might result in opportunities for faculty and student exchanges going forward.
Cool.
So we had a chance to visit several colleges and universities and meet many different people and develop some nice relationships.
Very cool. So in your whole time there, what did you find the most interesting about Russia?
Well, I think, first of all, it was very interesting to visit the other colleges and universities and to compare them with ours. And without being chauvinistic about it, quite frankly, I didn't see any colleges that were superior to ours, let's say, in terms of the quality of our facilities and or the quality of the teaching faculty. I mean, don't get me wrong, there were some wonderful people that we met with, and there's some wonderful institutions, but it's always good to know that we're ahead of the game in terms of quality here at CCM.
Yeah. So you spoke a little bit about, the international exchange. So can you tell us how you value those international exchange programs?
Well, I think they're very important, and I've said this to many of the people that we met with. Most of our students, and you may be in this category yourself, were born and raised here in Morris County, have not had too much opportunity to go abroad or to go much beyond Morris County. And the world obviously is getting smaller and smaller all the time. And we feel that the more opportunities our students have to meet with people from other countries and other cultures, the better prepared they'll be to live in this new, smaller world that we will be living in the future. Okay,
cool. So when you got there to the conference, what was that like? What was it like being there?
Well, my first experience was a little crazy, and it was reflected in my blog, which you may have had a chance to take a look at. But I made the mistake of taking a picture of the airplane that we arrived on, and I was quickly told that that's verboten. Not a good idea. Apparently, they don't like you taking pictures of anything that has anything to do with transportation. So trains, planes, bridges, things of that nature for security purposes. Yeah. So happily, I wasn't observed by anyone of any great authority, so I didn't get in any trouble. But so that was a good heads up for me. Yeah. I guess the other thing that was kind of surprising was that even though we were there in mid to April, there was still quite a bit of snow on the ground.
So were you able to initiate any agreements to explore partnerships at Russia?
Excuse me. Yes, I did sign one kind of a general agreement with the Kazan Research Technical Institution. Okay. And again, it's very broad-based, just an agreement to further explore in the future opportunities to work together, again, for possible student or faculty exchange or even joint program development. Okay. And actually, a week from this Friday, we'll have a visit from a couple of people that I also met there from another institution who will come, and we'll talk about possibly signing an agreement with them as well. So there will be some other opportunities as we go forward.
That's cool. So you visited many different universities while you were there. Of all the universities you went to, what did you find most intriguing about the Russian education system?
Well, they're going through a major reform movement right now where they're consolidating a lot of their institutions. They have a very unique situation in that they actually have as many seats available in college and universities as they have students graduating from their secondary schools this year.
Oh, wow.
So in other words, there's a seat for everyone if they all wanted to go to school, which of course they won't.
Yeah.
So that would suggest that they probably have more institutions than they need. So they're in the process of consolidation. They'll be closing some institutions. They're restructuring their systems in very significant ways. So those are some of the more outstanding things that we met. We also visited one of the institutions was very interesting, Kazan Federal University, one of the bigger universities in Russia, actually was the institution that Lenin attended.
Right.
Although they were quick to point out that he only lasted there for about 3 months. Right. He got in trouble organizing students and was thrown out.
Yeah.
And also Leo Tolstoy had been a student there as well, but he too didn't stay there very long. He was too interested in acting and going to parties and doing that kind of thing. So two former students that they're very proud of, but who didn't complete their programs there.
So would you say they're still held in very high esteem? Do they look at them as...
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Well, they have a huge statue of Lenin in front of Kazan Federal University as a student with his books and so forth. So, which he probably didn't open very often, but they're very proud of that tradition.
So it wasn't all, you know, you weren't only at institutions for education. You also went to NASCAR, kind of. It wasn't NASCAR. They're called KAMAZ
trucks.
What was
yes.
it like standing in front of those monster trucks?
It was pretty overwhelming. They're huge. They're racing trucks. I've never seen anything like it in this country.
Yeah.
I think they're at least 9 tons and apparently have a top speed of 200 miles an hour. And they run over free terrain. So they have a race every year from Paris to Dakar in Africa. And this particular team has won that race, I think, 11 out of the last 15 years that it's been run. But you know, one of the colleges that we visited is very close and has a close relationship with that factory. And they actually prepare their students to work in their factory in research and design and development and so forth. So it's very very interesting collaboration they have between the university and KAMAZ trucks.
So you visited the Elabuga Institute, is that what
Yes,
the name?
yes, right.
So was there anything that you saw that you would like to maybe bring to CCM?
Well, I think one of the things that was there and at a couple of other places that I thought was very interesting and something we might want to think about here, they had a very unique museum. The institution itself was over 100 years old. So they had materials going back in the very early days of their history, including desks and things of that nature, and a very nice museum. And several of the institutions had museums. Even Kazan Federal University
on
campus had a museum where they had desks that Lenin would have sat in his day, and a place where the faculty would stand, and they had uniforms that the students used to wear and uniforms that the faculty used to wear back in the day. So that was kind of interesting. We have archives here, but they're kind of stashed away.
Right.
And space is always an issue with us. But I think at some point, again, we're getting close to 45 years old, and we'll be celebrating our 50th anniversary before you know it. Yeah. It would be nice to have some kind of room set aside to have some of the artifacts from our early days on display as well.
Right. I understand that Russian students, when a faculty enters a room, they stand up. Is that something that you might...
Pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
Yes, every classroom that we went into where there were students, they stood up. In fact, they stand up every time a faculty member enters their classrooms. It's part of their academic culture in that country. Yeah.
Oh, very interesting. So how common was it for English to be spoken as you went to the different colleges?
I would say that all of the colleges taught English as a second language. A lot of the classes that we met with were classes that were learning English, and so we could communicate a little bit. But I think it would be a mistake to assume that everybody speaks English or that even the majority of people speak English very well. But there certainly were people at every campus who could help us.
Okay. So, is there anything that you would like to share with CCM students or faculty from your trip there? What would you like them to leave with this?
Well, I think, again, just the general notion that students are students, the same bright-eyed, inquisitive minds that we see here at CCM were certainly in evidence there. A lot of the students were very excited about the fact that there were people from the United States there. It's amazing the impact that our culture, the American culture, has in Russia. For example, one of my sons is a drummer, and I had hoped to find a t-shirt for him that would have a drum kit or something on it with Russian language on it. I couldn't find one. All the t-shirts that have writing on them, the writing's in English. You know, I'd rather be on the beach or something like that. You know, things that we see in the Abercrombie stores on a regular basis. So, and again, all the music, oftentimes in restaurants and so forth, the music that was playing very often was American music.
Really?
So it's really, I don't think we realize or appreciate the impact that our culture has, probably not only in Russia, but in around the world.
Great. Well, hopefully we see some international students here. That would certainly be cool.
That would be great. That would be great.
Dr. Yaw, thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much.